for this hour is Stand Up for Downs. In 2013, Rob and Ellen Snow founded Stand Up for Downs to enhance the lives of individuals with developmental disabilities through humor, drawing on Rob's background in stand-up comedy and improv. Since then, they've hosted over 75 events, granted over $300,000 to nearly 60 organizations, and launched the Improvaneer Method, which now teaches improv to over 500 individuals nationwide. Thank you, Rob and Ellen, and Stand Up for Downs for your support of DSDN.
Live, there I am. All right, welcome back, everyone. Our first DSDN day live, not without some behind the scenes excitement today. Poor Rafia running around trying to get everything working exactly how we want it to. Thank you for those of us who have hung in there with us this first 90 minutes through some technical difficulties. I think we're figuring it all out now and should be good to go for the rest of the day. The next segment, this is a really exciting one. I am excited to talk to our co-founders, Jen Jacob and Heather Bradley. We're going to just talk about the beginning of DSDN, how it started, why it started, and so you all are in for a special treat. So welcome, Jen, and welcome, Heather. Why don't we start with introductions? Heather, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to get us started?
Of course. I'm Heather Bradley. I'm a DSDN co-founder, current controller for DSDN, and rockin' mom to Izzy, who is almost 13.
And Jen, I know you've had a chance to introduce yourself, but go ahead again for anybody who is just tuning in. I can't hear you. Oh, you are on mute.
Switching me to mute when I switched to my AirPods. So sorry. I'm Jen Jacob. Good morning again for those of you that are just joining us. DSDN co-founder, former executive director, and current peer-to-peer fundraising director. And rockin' mom to Owen, who is also going to be 13 this year.
And I know the birth of both of your kids is not necessarily what prompted DSDN, but of course you're both moms to kids with Down syndrome. But Heather, why don't you talk about what gaps in support or just unmet needs that you all saw early on when you had your, at that time, babies with Down syndrome that led to the creation of DSDN?
Yeah, of course. So Jen started a Facebook group for moms of kiddos born in 2012 and 2013. And we joined when our daughter Izzy was really young, just a few months old. And it was just an amazing experience. The connections and support that moms were getting in that group was great. But while we were there, we noticed that a lot of moms had a really terrible diagnosis experience. And also that many parents did not have local support options in their area that they could connect to in person. And so the online group was a really critical piece of support for them at that time. So it really stirred in us the need for an organization to really focus on new parent support and also shaping the way that diagnosis experience goes for new families.
And anything to add about those early days and what prompted it and kind of what it looked like in the beginning?
Yeah, prompting it, like I just remember sitting there with Owen, and we had a prenatal likely diagnosis, and he was our fourth kid, and it still felt like I was a brand new mom, and I just couldn't figure out, was it Down syndrome related things? Was it just Owen? What was that like? And a lot of us were chatting on Baby Center, and that was hard to watch some of those conversations because there were parents there that also had older children and adults with Down syndrome in the same space. And it just was hard to be sitting there pregnant and then with a newborn and hearing parents talk about issues that they were having with their adult children. And I just was really craving talking to families who had other little babies. Like, what were they thinking? I knew that I had all those other parents for support and resources as we came into the older years, but like right now, I just need to I need a bubble. I need to talk to the other moms who are in the same space. And so that's what really prompted the first Facebook group. And we started it with just in a few days, we had 150 moms from around the world. It was really crazy to see it just build. And we started having just really, it's an experience that you can't explain to people when you start having these really deep conversations with people that you don't know. Like it's just such a special, powerful thing that until you experience it, you don't get it. But my gosh, like those women became such a lifeline for me in those first days. And, we, then sharing like just all of the diagnostics experience, which Heather just talked about, like we both had fairly okay experiences, I would say. So neither of us were, having a really something we would qualify as terrible, but like I think it was shocking for us to hear some of the things that people were hearing. And then that's when I remember Heather reaching out like, hey, could we talk on the phone? And like we had just been like online friends for a while, and I was like, oh, this is like online dating. Okay, we're going to talk on a real phone call. And I will never forget like sitting outside on my deck the night that she called, and us like her having just the conversation of, we should do something with this. Like, what if we do this in a bigger scale? And I just knew it was all meant to be, really. Like it was just definitely a purposeful, intentional next piece of the puzzle for us. So
yeah, I love that. And so I joined DSDN when my son was born in 2016, so a couple of years later, but I share that same experience, Jen, where I felt like I had good local support, but there wasn't anyone who was pregnant at the same time as me, at least not at the beginning. There's one local mom, her son Jacob is 4 months older or 4 months younger than Augie. So we were able to connect. She's also part of DSDN. But at the beginning of my pregnancy, I didn't have anyone else who was pregnant. And then when I first had Augie, I didn't have anyone else who was just going through in that same moment what I was going through. And that's what I was able to find in DSDN and in my birth group. So
yeah, and I feel
between
like
that.
finding other moms from your state that you didn't know exist, that was an added bonus for me. I mean, some of my greatest friends locally here with kiddos with Down syndrome, I probably wouldn't have met had it not been for DSDN. So that's been just amazing to have those friendships over the years and find local moms that maybe didn't connect in the same local group, but were really an easy connection for in-person meetings and get-togethers. So that's been a super great thing for me personally. So
Well, anything more to share about what those early days within DSDN looked like before we talk about what's happened since then?
oh
yeah, I mean, I think it was just putting our boots to the ground and doing whatever it took to make as big of an impact as we could in those early days, especially when we didn't have a lot of funding, we didn't have a lot of resources. I remember our first real event was a DSAIA conference, and just we hadn't even officially launched yet. And so Jen and Jenny DiBenedetto and myself were all there, and we were just networking hard, trying to make the connections with other organizations, trying to spread what we were going to be doing and hopefully get some allies along the way, which thankfully we did. Some took a little longer, but it's been an amazing process to just connect to other organizations, connect to families. And but yeah, that was a fun trip and a lot of learning curves along the way that we had to learn.
100%. And I remember, is that the one where we had to pick you up from the airport? Like, and we had never even like met in person really yet. Like, so it was just so funny. Like,
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's thinking about, I mean, we just so many, it's all a blur, honestly. It's like having a small child. Like, I mean, we just were like hustling and like just so busy raising our little people. I think we both built houses in that first couple of, I mean, we just had so many things going on in our lives that it really, we were younger too, so things were easier then. So that's always a little bit easier. But I also think about how we were just building and creating things that, DSDN, it was a brand new experience. Like, I mean, Facebook was very different 12 years ago, 11 years ago when we first started these groups. And so we were figuring out, my background is in education. Like, I don't have any technical skills. I don't have, those things, but we were figuring out how to make it really work effectively, how to be moderators. Like, I mean, I think about those early days, I was having to become friends with every single person that we would add to the group because we wanted to keep the groups private so they could be a safe space for parents. I mean, now Facebook has a billion tools that you can use to do all of those things, but back in that time, it was not like that. So it just is really interesting to think about how we had to literally build our DSDN airplane while we were flying it. And of course, we had missteps along the way and things that didn't go great. But overall, I feel like it made us just such a stronger organization as we grew and really learned from all those mistakes. And I remember a very specific day in my life was when Heather discovered Canva, and we had a different way to make graphics and designs versus using PowerPoint all the time for things. Like, I look at our first stuff and I laugh because it's what we had to do, right? But it like just looks so different than it does today. And we have beautiful people like Rafia, marketing people that can do things versus us just figuring it out as we go along, which we did happily. It was worth it.
And I have to say, like, the amount of people that stepped up and helped us, I certainly don't want to give the impression that it was just us. Like, we had so many people that we were utilizing that were helping us along the way in those early days. And I'm just thinking back on all of them. I'm just so grateful for them all. They did whatever it took because they believed in what we were doing. And that was just so amazing for me to see. So that I just don't want to go without mentioning all those.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Very, very good point. Yeah. Like, literally, like, so many people that would step up with resources, talents, skills that they had, because this was really important to them too. Our first parent advisory council and people just coming in. And I feel like the thing that I would really want to make sure we say about that too is that people that didn't all have the same ideas and backgrounds and perspectives, and people that wanted to make sure that we did this right and did it effectively, and that were, came in and said the things that maybe weren't popular things to say, but gosh, we all needed to hear it so we could really make this a long-term organization. We saw lots of things come and go in those first few years, even that we were starting out. And so it was kind of scary to do that and see, and now be much more, just to be longstanding now and be a part of our community and the Down syndrome greater community, and people knowing what DSDN does and who we are and what our entire team of volunteers works towards every day has been really fulfilling that way. And that new parents just know about us and find us, and it's all magical.
Well, and every year we have new people that step up. Like, I love hearing about all of those people who stepped up early on, and that's just continued. Like, we have the best volunteers, we have the best people, just that believe in what we do, benefit from it personally, and then want to pay it forward. And that has continued for the last 11 plus years. Well, what do you think about the growth? Like, did you ever expect that DSDN would be what we are today, from 150 moms to supporting parents, moms and dads, thousands? What do you think of where we've come from those early days?
Yeah, I'm so amazed all the time when I look at it. I couldn't be prouder of, the work we're doing. And I think for me, the most important thing is that we've really stuck to our mission. And I remember in those early days, probably one of the things that was the hardest was locking down a mission and vision for DSDN. And we may have tweaked it slightly over the years, but for the most part, it's always stayed the same. And I truly feel that us staying true to that has really been the reason for our success. And I remember every single decision we made in those early days revolved around, well, is it within our mission? No, it's not. Okay, then maybe we need to pass. But yeah, I'm so proud. And it really speaks to all of our amazing volunteers, all of our amazing staff. And I'm blown away by the amount of families. And even when I go to the retreat each year, it's always nice to connect with the new families and hear their stories. And I've been just blessed to hear that so many families seem to be having better experiences, and that makes me happy.
Me too. Jen, anything to add?
Yeah, it truly is humbling to see where it's come from. And I'm so grateful for Heather, because if it had just been me, like I would have just been a Facebook group and we wouldn't really be having this conversation. Like it would just be some Facebook groups where people chatted. And she definitely had a bigger vision to make this a much greater impact in our world and community. And it truly, like she said, the people who've stepped up over the years, like we're so grateful that, you know, that it's grown beyond us. That I think is a real hallmark of all of this, because if it was just us doing the work, it would be different. So it's just so awesome to see that, you know, that I could step away as an ED because you came in, Melissa, and other people were willing to step up and do things. It's just really great to see how much growth we're having now with the app and things like that. Like our vision is really coming to full light, and we're not having to do all the heavy lifting anymore, and can really be a support to the new families that way. So for that part, for me, that's really been powerful to see.
Well, you both paved the way, and you're both also very committed and involved still, which I truly appreciate. And I don't know if everybody knows that. Jen is our volunteer peer-to-peer fundraising director. So she's doing a ton of stuff with us to try to raise money to keep our mission moving forward. And Heather is our controller. So she is monitoring financials and helping to provide guidance there. Like Jen said, she served as executive director until 2023, and Heather was our board president and then became just a board member until she rolled off just a couple of years ago. But even when they moved on from these important roles, I mean, you still decided that you're committed to this. So thank you for not just paving the way, but continuing to walk that path with us. As an organization, it really, really means a lot, and you've inspired a lot of people.
Thank you.
Well, thank you
Important
both
to
for
us.
your time. Any other parting words for our audience today before we say goodbye?
I'm just so excited to see everything today. I look forward to all the other sessions and kind of where DSDN ends up today with our fundraising goals, and just hope you'll consider a donation to DSDN.
Yeah, I have to plug the peer-to-peer fundraisers today 1,000%, because they've been working all season long to either make it to the retreat or a staycation prize. And so if you're looking to make a donation today is the day. We have awesome people who have donated $15,000 that we could do matching today. So every dollar up to that first $15,000 today will be doubled. So let's keep it going. And like we talked about in the earlier sessions, and we'll continue to talk about filling those funds so this work can keep going, because it's a hard year for everybody, including us. So we want to keep it going for all those new parents coming in the future.
Well, thank you, Jen, and thank you, Heather, not only for your time right now, but also just for your vision that you had for DSDN, for your hard work through the years, and for your commitment that remains. Appreciate you both.
Starting the journey of parenting a child with Down syndrome can be scary. There are many unknowns and plenty of things to worry about. But DSDN has been the biggest blessing for our family to get us through those challenging times, both past, present, and I'm sure in the future as well. Whether it's having probably too much fun at a dad retreat or just staying connected throughout the year, there's nothing more valuable than connecting with other dads who get it. We all come from different backgrounds, but have something really unique in common that instantly makes us feel like one big family. In addition to attending retreats, I've also had the opportunity to fundraise multiple times and have been a moderator for just over 2 years. This has also been rewarding for me, just getting to help out DSDN and give back to other families who are going through similar things. I appreciate all the support I've received from DSDN and the connections I've made, and I look forward to making even more connections in the future. Say bye-bye.
everyone, this is Rafia Munir and I am the director at DSDN Marketing. I want to take a moment and wanted to express my gratitude for my lovely, awesome team members whose dedication, creativity, and beautiful hearts have made a powerful impact. My dear team members, every little idea that you have contributed, every campaign that you have supported, and every little moment that you have chosen to volunteer with us has helped our message reach further and touch more lives. So thank you so much for being a part of this team, helping us promote our message of awareness and giving us your time so generously, along with your talent and amazing skills. I couldn't have done without you. We couldn't have done without you. I truly appreciate and love you all. Thank you so much. Bye.